Hi guys, Miss Jessica here. I'm going to do some gardening with you guys today. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy and enjoying this nice weather. And one of the ways I like to enjoy beautiful weather is planting stuff. So you're going to need some dirt. You don't have to buy dirt from the store. You can go outside and get dirt. You can get dirt anywhere. You're going to need some water, some seeds, any kind of seed you want. And you don't have to buy seeds from the store. You can get seeds from just about anywhere. You probably have a lot of stuff in your kitchen that has seeds in it, like tomatoes or green onions. This one has roots on the bottom of it already, so we're going to try to plant this and see what happens. So first off, you need to make sure that you have a container. And you don't have to use a potting container. You can get a container from anywhere. I made a container out of an old water bottle, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a different video. So the first thing you want to do is put some dirt in your container. And you want to make sure that your dirt doesn't have a bunch of clumps in it, because seeds don't really grow well in clumpy dirt. So you want to make sure you break your dirt up a little bit. Fill up your pot. Pack it down a little bit. And you want to fill it up about that much. There's a little line right here because you're going to have to add a little bit of dirt to the top of it once you put your seeds in there. So I'm going to plant one of my favorites. It is a Morning Glory, and this one is a Scarlet O'Hare. So you want to take about 3 or 4 seeds maybe. Put them on top, spread them out a little bit. You don't want them right next to each other. I'm going to try 4 just in case one of them doesn't work. And you just want a real thin layer of dirt over top of those. So you don't want to bury them too much because it makes it hard for them to grow. So just a real thin layer over top, just enough to keep it wet and dark. Because you don't want to put these in the sun until you start to get a sprout on them. And once you do that, it's very important that you water it. They need lots of water when they're sprouting. So you always have to make sure that your soil is wet. Do this over a sink because they do have holes at the bottom, so the water's going to come out. So I'm just doing mine over top of this bowl I have to make sure that it's draining nice. And a lot of people use these discs. It's basically soil. They look like this. They're little discs that people use. And you put them in a bowl or a dish, and they start to get bigger. And then once they're big, they look like this. And there is a hole in the middle, and that's where you put your seed. And you can see the hole before. Right there is where you put your seed. So you're going to we're going to plant one of the Scarlet O'Hares. See which one plants faster. We're going to stick this right in the middle. Just real lightly cover it. Stick it back in the water. Make sure it stays nice and moist, just like your regular soil. And it will sprout. And once it sprouts, it'll look like this. This is what they look like in the beginning. Just a real little tiny thing. Then they turn into this. That's a Morning Glory. That needs to stay in the water. And you have to make sure that you don't put them outside or in the sun too early, because then they'll look like that. I put mine out too early. The squirrels ate a lot of them, and then they died. It got really cold at night, and everything I planted died. So you have to make sure that you put them out at the right time before you do. And these Morning Glories, they like to wrap around stuff. So when they start growing, they'll get really long, and they like to go up their vines. So, and this is what this looks like. So once this starts to sprout, then I'll put it out in the sun. And then we have an onion. So we're going to see how that turns out. So once again, you want to fill up your container with some dirt. And I'm doing this inside. Normally I do this outside, but for the video I have to do it inside so you guys can see what I'm doing because it's so nice and sunny out today. So same thing, you fill it to your line. You're going to want to make a little hole in there and stick the roots down into that hole. Hold it. And then we're going to fill it all the way up to the top again with dirt, just like that. I want to push it down a little bit so it stays nice and sturdy. And the same thing with this. You want to make sure that you give it water right away. Everything you plant needs to have lots of water. But once it starts growing, you don't want to overwater it because it'll die. And I do have this over top of a bowl, so it's okay. I'm going to put that in there. And this would be a nice project for you guys to do for Mother's Day. You could make your mom a pot, decorate it, plant her some flowers. You can do all kinds of stuff with planting. You can cut this tomato open, get some seeds out of it, start a garden. It's a lot of fun, you know, doing gardening, finding something to do outside to enjoy this nice weather. So I miss everybody, and I hope I see you guys soon.